In today's tutorial, let's learn how to make this fabulous snowflake pillow. You'll be so surprised on how fast this project can really go. Welcome back to Yarnspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to explore the Snowflake Pillow, and this is a really cute 14-inch pillow, and it doesn't take that much time in order to really make. In fact, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. It's one of those projects you can probably get on and off your hook within an evening. So within today's project, let me go through some of the components that we need to do in order to do it. To do today's project, you are going to need Bernat Blanket Yarn. You can find this in most crafting stores. You just need one ball in order to do the front and the back panel, and then you just need a smidgen of another ball in order to do the trim work and the snowflake. Now the snowflake is on both sides, as you can see right now, and it's actually really easy to do, and it doesn't require a lot of extra yarn. So in actual fact, what I think you can do is that you could actually do two pillows. You can actually choose to do a white pillow with red trim with a red snowflake, and vice versa if you wanted to do it that way. So today's project, it went really quickly. I did the panels last night. You will need to make two panels, just like so, and the instructions are provided in the more information of this video. And once we get those panels done, then we come back and then we do the snowflake, and then we insert a pillow form inside. Now I picked this up at a crafting store at Michael's today, and I noticed that not all pillows are equal, and this one here has an actual zipper on the side, so I could take out some stuffing or I could add some stuffing. I like that feature instead of having to damage something in order to make it the right fluffiness that I need. And what else are we going to need? You're going to need an 8mm crochet hook today, and I got my boy hook right here, and you're going to need the free pattern. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you downstairs to the studio, and I'm going to show you how to do a panel, and then what we're going to do then is to progress to the snowflake. Then we're going to do the attaching, and we're going to insert our pillow and then close it all up within today's tutorial. So that's the plan. I know you can do it, and I think it's a great little project for you. Let's review this free pattern together, and in the more information of this video there is a direct link that you can get this free pattern as well. So what we have, it's only one page. That's how simple this is, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing two panels that are identical to each other, that are kind of sandwiched together, and then inside we're going to put the stuffing pillow inside, and then we're going to apply some snowflakes. Now in this particular pillow they put the snowflake on both sides, but that's completely optional. It's up to you and your own creativity, but don't limit yourself to only making this a festive pillow. Maybe you want to make this another pillow for something else, and it's really quite easy. So for today's tutorial you are going to need one big ball of Bernat blanket in order to do the panel, and they will do both, and then just a little smidgen of another color of the Bernat blanket in order to do the fine trim work, just like so. You're also going to need an 8mm size L crochet hook today. You're also going to need a tapestry needle to sew the snowflake onto the panel itself, and then you're also going to need the preformed pillow. It is 14 inches, and we're going to be covering all that today. So our first step we need to do is to make the front and the back panels. They're identical to each other. They are all single crochet. But let me tell you a little secret before we get started. It's going to tell you to measure from the top to the bottom a certain distance. And what is that distance? It says about 13 inches. But can I tell you a secret? In the rules of crochet, that a single crochet in the row, for example, say that there is actually 26 stitches going across. If you do 26 rows, you will end up with a complete square. So if you don't have a tape measure and you prefer to count the number of rows, if you do 26 rows of this, you'll be able to make a square very easily without having to use a tape measure. That's completely up to you. Now my panels are already completed, but I'll show you how to do them. Okay, so it's chaining of 27 to start. You start off with the slip knot, insert the knot onto the hook, and remember that this never counts as one. So you're going to chain 27. In my case I'm only going to chain 4 because I just want to show you how to do this. So you're going to just yarn over and pull through for 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and you're going to go all the way to the number 27, and then you're going to start the next part with me. So now that you have your 27 on your hook, what you want just to do then is you want to go and single crochet along the chain. Now if you turn it over, you're going to get a back hump or a back loop just like you see here, and I want you to use that. So once you do the first one, the chain will stay upside down, and you insert your hook into the second chain from the hook, and yarn over and pull through. You'll have 2 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and you're going to work yourself down the chain all the way. So just insert, pull through 2, and go down, and keep doing that all the way down your chain. Now because you went second chain from the hook, you will end up for the entire project of only having 26 stitches across. So we chain 27, and because we have to turn around and come back and go second chain from the hook, we're always going to you always end up with one less. So you end up with only 26 stitches going all the way across. So once you get to the very final, you're just gonna pull through 2 and hold, just like so. And so that would be what it looks like. So let me turn around and show you how to move up within your rows. To turn around, you're just going to turn your work. You're going to immediately chain 1 and go right into the very first stitch for a single crochet, and you're going to single crochet into every stitch going across. That's all this pattern is. So you're going to do the front and the back panels exactly the same way. So it tells you to keep going back and forth until the height, which is the bottom and to the top, is 13 inches. But as I just said before this particular episode, or before this particular segment, is that every single crochet in the width equals the same height. Okay, so if you go 26 inches or 26 stitches this way, if you do 26 rows going in the up, you'll end up with a complete square. So you can either measure it or you can just count the number of rows. So remember, when you get to the end, turn your work, chain up 1 first, go into the first one, and single crochet across. So I want you to do your 2 panels, and I'm just gonna finish this one going across, and then I want you to weave in off your ends once you get to there all the way. Okay, so you're gonna get to your square, you're gonna weave in, so you're gonna trim your work, and because we're going to be doing single crochet around the edge, around the end, that we just have to weave this in carefully, but not too you don't have to be too gentle about it. I guess you don't have to be worrying about it too much. Even if you have a loose end, it'll be on the inside of the pillow. So let me grab up a sample of what we have here. So here's what it will look like, and you'll have 2, and because you did single crochet, it'll look nice and solid like so, and it's just really quite easy, and the edges will be perfect all for you, all up on the sides and tops and bottoms. So please do your front and back panels now. So in the next part of this tutorial, we're gonna learn how to do the snowflake. It's actually really quite simple. You'll notice in the instructions that there's only 1 round. So we're gonna start on, and we're gonna go out, go around, come back in, and come back down, and then we're just gonna do that, and then you just have to sew it on in a kind of funky kind of way. So let's review how to do a snowflake, and we're gonna go through that step by step. To do our snowflake, you're going to create a slip knot using the same size hook of the 8mm or a size L. Insert your hook into the slip knot. Remember that it doesn't ever count as 1, and we're simply going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we want to insert our hook into the beginning chain and yarn over and pull through everything to form ourselves an interior ring, which is the center point of your snowflake. Let's move on to the next part. So let's begin. We're gonna start off by doing our very first spoke, and then basically once you do that, it's a repeat of the same thing. So we're going to start off with the chain 1 first, and we're going to single crochet right into the center of the ring, and I want you to leave this straggler down on top so it gets trapped underneath as it's part of the ring, and we want to single crochet. So let's chain 6. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now as per the instructions, it says slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook. So we count back 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch. So just go in to that stitch or chain and pull through and through. And now it says to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and it says to slip stitch into the same chain. So we're gonna go back to that same chain and slip stitch again. And it says that we have to do that twice, so we have to do that 1 more time. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then come back to that same stitch and slip stitch 1 more time. So you have a total of like 3 sections, I guess you can say. Now it says to slip stitch in the next 3 chains. So we're gonna slip stitch back down the chain leading to the ring again, and there's only 3 stitches left anyway. So we're just gonna slip stitch 1. We're just moving our way back down, slip stitch 2, and slip stitch 3 like so. So now that we're back down to the ring again, is that we put 1 single crochet back into that ring. Okay, now I just twisted that. Did you see that? The reason for it is that I knew that this was facing in this direction, and I knew that if I was coming down like this, it was in the wrong direction. So just watch for that when you're doing this. So then we come back to the ring and single crochet. And now we're gonna repeat exactly what we just did already. So let's review this again one more time. So let's start off, we're gonna chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, we're gonna come third chain back. So 1, 2, and 3. Just turn it over, get that back. 1, it looks nicer if you do that, and you're going to slip stitch it. So 1, 2, 3. That's right. Slip stitch, then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Same stitch for a slip stitch, and then do that one more time. So chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and back into that same stitch one last time. That's 3 times into that stitch, and then moving back down is that there's only 3 stitches here, so we're just going to slip stitch all the way back down to the center ring. So it's 1, 2, and 3. And I'm looking to where I'm supposed to go in next, and I come back down to the ring and I single crochet in. There you go. So there is another point, and I want a total of 6 of these points on my snowflake. So I'm gonna review one more time because I think I need to, and then I'll let you do the other 3 on your own. So here's the final review of how to do the snowflake. So you chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count third one back. So 1, 2, 3, slip stitch. Then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Same stitch for another slip stitch, and then do it one more time. So 1, 2, 3. Same stitch last time. So now you're gonna work yourself back down the chain to the center ring, and there will be 3 slip stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And then once you got 3 done, single crochet back into the center of the ring. So please do that for another 3 times, and you'll have 6 of these points going all the way around, and we'll review on just fastening off. Okay, so now I have my 6 here. It doesn't look like it's a complete round. That's because on the very final one, I'm coming back down. I have to not do a single crochet right into the very end, but what I have to do is that I have to just join it to the beginning single crochet like so, and this will make it completely round just like so. So I want to fasten it off my edge, or my yarn, sorry. Not sure where I'm getting some of my terms these days, I tell you. So I want to fasten this off, and when I go to sew this onto the project, I want to lay it down on top of the project. But for now, I want to really kind of take care of this edge right here, or this loose end, and so I kind of just want to just weave it through some of the stitch work. Because it's nice fluffy yarn, you can really hide this stuff without anybody even noticing, but you just want to kind of hide it in behind, so when you go to sew this into position, you'll be able to do so without anybody really even noticing. And so you will notice that there's a front side and the back side, and so I basically want it so then when I go to do this is that these kind of like coming up towards you. Do you see that? See, one way they look like they're facing down, but I want to do it so the edges look like they're kind of coming up like bowls. And so let's get my panel next, and I'll show you how to sew these on. So before we stuff our pillow, we need to attach our snowflakes on first. It's just a lot easier, and you just have to use the photograph that's provided in the pattern to strategically place this on your project. So I'm gonna stay down toward the edge just like so. So what I want to do is I want to grab a regular yarn that kind of matches the color of it. I want to insert my yarn into my hook, and on the other side of this yarn what I want to do is that I want to create a slip knot. and I will show you why I'm doing that in just a second. So what I want to do is that when I go to start this, I want to come up from underside the project. So I just kind of move in this, and I'm gonna just push down in strategic and come on the underside and come up through the bottom to the top side. So I would prefer to leave this in a tutorial because it does happen to everybody, that it's important that you dive down in a different part of the stitch work on both the top and the bottom side. And this time I want to put it through the slip knot. And this time I did get it, and it's gonna tighten onto itself underside, and now it's gonna be tight on the top. So what I want to do is kind of eye it up through the back side and through the front and kind of match it. And I just want to tack this thing down. I don't want it to be to the point where it's at the point that it's just kind of looking like it's been ironed on. I want this to have a little bit of lift, a little bit of texture, and I just want to move down the project looking at the top side, and I want to move in a strategic counterclockwise formation. If you want to do clockwise, that's completely up to you. So this is how you would fasten it on, and when I come back I'll have this fastened on. My snowflake on. You can see the back side doesn't look too pretty, but I'm not a great sewer, but the reality is nobody's gonna see this because it'll be on the inside of the pillow. To fasten off, just move your yarn a little bit underneath some of the fibers, not going all the way through because you don't want to see it. Go in 3 directions. So go 1, then go into a different section into the other direction. So don't ever go follow the same path, like so. If you feel more comfortable to tie a knot, you're more than welcome to do so. Again, that's your own personal creativity, whatever is more comfortable for you. And just for the sake of argument, I'm going to put it back through the string twice. So I want it not to fall off. So if you want to apply 2 snowflakes, you can apply as much as you want to the front of the pillow if you want to make it a lot more personalized for you. But this is what I have so far, and now it's time to insert our pillow form. So you know, life is never perfect, and I didn't expect to put it on perfect, but you know, snowflakes are meant to be perfect, but this is creativity. Anything will go. In this part of the tutorial, we are now going to fasten the front panel to the back panel using a single crochet edging, just like so. The snowflakes are in position, and this should be good to go. So let's review on how to do that first. Okay, so what we need to do, if you have snowflakes, you want to put them to the outside. So if this was the bottom snowflake or the back of the panel, this snowflake should be upside down, and then the next panel, if there was a snowflake on it, the snowflake should face up. So the good sides are on the outside, and when we go to put in the pillow form, it'll be going on the inside, just like so. But we can't put the pillow form in there yet. There's no point, because it's not going to stay in place. So what we're going to do is that we're going to start off, and we're going to go around this, and the very last section right here, we're going to insert our pillow before finishing off. Now the advantage to this is that we've done the single crochets, and so there will be enough stitches to match each other because both panels are identical, and also there's an exact same amount of rows, and so each row then equals the same. So let's begin, and I'll show you how to close this off. So let's begin to close this off, and I'm just gonna take these loose ends, and I'm going to put them on the inside of the pillow, and I'm going to start off with the top or bottom edge. It doesn't matter which one you start off with. It's basically, it doesn't really matter. So make sure your snowflakes are facing out, and let's grab our crochet hook and our new yarn. Now I'm using white because it matches the snowflake, but again, this is your own creativity. You can decide what works for you. So what we're going to do is that we're going to insert the hook into one panel on the first stitch and match it to the second panel on the first stitch, just like this. And then using the yarn, just go over top of it. So we're just going to single crochet everything together. Okay, so we're just going to pull through. The first one might be difficult because you're just starting out, and there's a lot of stitch work to go through. So just pull through, and we can get our tension straight once we get through the first one. Okay, and let's pull things tight, get everything balanced. Okay, so the first one's always important. So what you can do afterward is just let that straggler fall out of position, and we can tuck that in later. So moving to the next stitch, on the first panel, moving to the next stitch on the back panel, we're just going to single crochet. So it was just the first one's always kind of hard. So just moving down the rows, so match and match. Okay, so continue to do that all the way around, but what are we gonna do on the corners? Let's see if the instructions say anything about that. I'll be right back. When you get to the final corner one, all you're just going to do is that in every corner you're going to put 2 single crochets into the same corner, and that will allow your project to turn. So what you're going to do then is that this is the sides of the rows that we've been working on. So again, you just match row for row moving down the side. So what we're going to do is that we're going to continue to do this until we have 3 sides complete, and then we're going to insert the pillow form and then close it off with doing a single crochet. So continue to go all the way around, but don't do the final round until you get to that point. Just stop and wait for me. Okay, so now I have 3 sides of my pillow complete, and now it's time to insert the pillow form through the pocket. And I've already done on this part here, let me just turn it over, I've already done my 2 crochets into the corner to make it align. So let me grab my pillow form now, and I want to do it so that the stuffing here, this one happens to have an open zipper, and so I can insert it in, and if it's too fluffy then I can remove some fluff out, but I want to do it so that the zipper area is facing out. So insert that in now. So now that my pillow is in, I'm just going to just single crochet the 2 together and really sandwich it in. I really like the thickness of that this pillow is gonna do, so I'm not gonna remove any stuffing from this pillow, but I actually can't do this in front of the camera for you. I need to position this on my lap, but all you're just gonna do is continue the same process of doing the single crochet around, and when I come back I'll show you what I have finished doing today. So ta-da! Here is my pillow. Here is the original, and these look great. No matter what colors you do, I think you can't really go wrong with these, and these make for a great little accessory, and these are really cool and easy to make. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. We'll see you. Bye-bye.